My name is Martin, and I am the proud owner and builder of this beautiful Sling TSi that you see parked right here.
Have you had any major problems?
Yeah, I'm too happy. Oh yeah, oh yeah. One thing that I really enjoyed of this process, and there are many things I really enjoyed about this process, is the paint. And I have to be honest, I just look at it and it gives me joy. I found one airplane that was just shining in the way that I wanted. I was like, that's the paint I need.
There's so much to it, like
you don't realize how much goes into it. Yeah, totally.
One of the most striking things is the paint job.
I looked at a ton of planes online, like all my fellow pilots, and I started finding some themes that I really liked. So I really took different things from different planes, used a paint shop, and just kind of tried to get on paper an idea of what I was going for, which is almost what you're seeing really. And I went through a few iterations, and then finally, once I had the design, I sent it to somebody who turned it into just the most beautiful and professionally done design with all the measures. This is Conrad from Maverick Aviation. Highly recommended if you need some good designs. What I really love, there's a couple things. This back tail, the back part here in the tail that really looks like a bit of an Eddie Van Halen guitar. And then the main design, which is sort of this stripe and this sort of C, which is asymmetric. So the wing, there's the C side on one side, and then on the other side there's the end of it in a small symbol. And back here on the elevator, there's actually the exact opposite design. So the C is on the left here, and it kind of swooshes on the other side. And maybe what took me a lot of time was to actually get the color right. This particular paint was just perfect. The silver here is a silver that is most typically used on Cirruses, and it's really beautiful. And then there's this sort of light blue and Athens blue that I think really pop, and are really what I was going for. I have to say, I imagined it. I spent a lot of time, more time than I thought on creating it, and it came out exactly the way I wanted it. A lot of friends of mine asked me, pilot friends asked me why I bought a Sling, why I bought a TSi. And I have to say, I spent a lot of time dreaming about owning a plane. I've flown now for close to 20 years. And I've always flown small Cessnas, Pipers. And at some point, I just grew tired of never being sure where exactly the switch is and where exactly this or that is. There's so many beautiful planes today that one can buy, and I've looked into many of them. I've streamed more hours of YouTube than anybody would want to look at other planes. In the end, it seemed to me almost no contest. The Sling TSi is just, for me, it has everything I need. The mission is right. The price is definitely half or less than what you would pay on another modern airplane, and it's such a pleasure to fly. It's from that point of view, for me, it's just the best.
Martin's been very involved with his build, and he's done some really nice touches, designing and 3D printing his little console on the top.
I did add a couple of touches myself. So one that I'm really proud of. I've designed and 3D printed this. This is actually still a prototype. I'm going to make one that is just slightly wider so that it fills out the space. But I thought I'd put up here all of my light switches. That's why you get an experimental plane. So you can put your lights up here if you want to. Yeah, it's called a T-Cord grip. And it's just extremely ergonomic. It's very easy to hold, and it has everything you need up here, an AP disconnect. push to talk, and trim. And the color just goes beautifully with the rest, so I just really love it. But overall, yeah, as modern a plane as you can get it.
You're a movie star.
Well, I teach for a living, so
That's a neuroscientist. He knows how the brain works.
that's right. It doesn't mean that mine works any better, but I know how it's supposed to work.
So, I mean, it's only a neuroscientist that would put a logo like this on his wing. I think it's brilliant. I thought there was some neuron or something.
Looks a bit like a modern molecule, maybe like something sciencey, but it's actually just a beautiful design that I thought really complemented this wing. I could not have hoped for any better. The process, the build, the flying, it's everything that was advertised to me and everything that I was hoping it would be. So I have a full-time job that I love, and so I couldn't quite build it myself. I couldn't spend every day building, but at Torrance, they're just so good at building these planes. They're so good at what they do. Edwin, John, Sean, you can see how they take pride in doing things well. So I would come here, I would say just about at least once a week, and I'd spend the day here and I would rivet and I would screw things in and move things around and move wires and push stuff. Being able to tag along as frequently as I possibly could with the guys here in the hangar has been a great experience. You know, not only I enjoyed it a lot, they taught me a lot, and I learned a lot just by putting this together, knowing where things are, and that I think as a pilot is just really valuable. It's the kind of information that it's not just great to have, but I think when you really need it, when things get tight, I think that's information that is really helpful. So I'm really grateful that the people here allowed me to sort of be able to do something I could never have done myself and enjoy it and learn in the process. You're customizing it, the options, and you decide all of this up front before you've ever built a plane. As I said, I've flown it now some 25 hours, and in fact that's why the plane is here, to get an oil change. It's been amazing. I really love flying IFR a lot, so having the avionics that this plane has, that really helped a lot, because my IFR has turned from, what can be pretty stressful, and sometimes, things come at you really quick. That has turned into a pleasure. The same is true when I fly VFR, but I have to say, for me, since I like so much flying on an IFR flight plan, it has just made it even more enjoyable. So far, I have to say, this is really a dream come true for me.
So don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment. It really helps us with our channel. We really appreciate it.
What don't you like about your airplane?
So far that I can't fly it enough. I think that's the biggest problem that I'm having right now.
We can fix that. You want us to employ you as a test pilot?
Well, if I can keep retesting mine, yes.